Without Kenya, there are no Kenyans. I want to remind the church, without Kenya, there is no church in Kenya. I want to remind the Muslims, or rather the mosque, without the Kenya, there are no mosque, because where will you build your church? Where will you build your mosque? Where will you build your business? I would like to remind the businessmen, without Kenya, there are no businessmen. Your business requires this nation in order for it to thrive to a point whereby it can be able to be of hope, it can be able to be of transformation, and you also can be able to be a beneficiary in this very land. So the matters we are looking at today do not necessarily affect one type of people. They are matters that will be critical to affect both the religious, both the economical, both the social, young and old, rich and poor. It doesn't matter. Provided you're standing in this soil called Kenya, it will affect you. It will affect the economy as far as foreigners will not be able to do business in this nation. So this is a very critical matter, and it requires the needed attention in order for us to be able to project this nation towards a direction that will be able not to bring destruction, but rather to bring total transformation. In order, I want you to look at these videos because this is the clear picture of what Kenya is. A clear picture of what Kenya is. Before I go any further, please journey with me as we look at these videos.
This ex-member of the party was struck by a stone before losing his grip and falling from the moving vehicle. Breaking his head on the road bump as the driver sped off in an attempt to escape the barrage of stones. Leaders allied to the Linda Mwananchi movement, while addressing the media in Nyamira on Sunday morning, said at least 20 people sustained injuries during what they termed as a coordinated attack at Keumbu Market. The lawmakers accused the country's security leadership of failing to stop political violence and instead allowing criminal gangs to infiltrate political gatherings.
The police, at this point, you are part and parcel of what took place. There is a lady wearing a red t-shirt. You can't miss her. She was next to a policeman, throwing stones and asking for more, saying, "Ua, ua." Has she been arrested? Or we are still doing forensic investigations?
Lives have been lost. Injuries have been sustained. This is really very shameful on the security apparatus of this country. In a modern society, happenings like what happened on Friday in Keumbu should never ever be even contemplated.
Meanwhile, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has intensified its crackdown on those linked to the violence. In a statement issued on Sunday through its official social media platforms, police have summoned Nairobi MP Zahid Janda to appear before Kisii County DCI. Police have also confirmed the arrest of 4 more suspects allegedly captured on camera handing stones at the Linda Mwananchi convoy.
Habari ya Wakenya, leo nimefurahia sana kwa sababu leo ni ile siku William Samoei Ruto alikuwa amedanganya Wakenya ataweka ulinzi kwa Wakenya. Lakini hakuna ulinzi tumeona ambao umewekwa watu wakafungua mabiashara. Lakini sasa sisi tumefurahia sana kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu kuna community moja inaitwa Wajaluo wamekuwa wakubafu zaidi. Kabla tufike leo, juzi walikuwa wameandamana kwa Kisumu wakisema na Biblia walikuwa wameandika uhuru wacha wifu. Nataka niwaambie nini takataka za Wajaluo. 2022 tukipatia raia William Samoei Ruto kura, hatukuhitaji kura zenu kwa sababu mlikuwa ndani ya Raila. Wakati huo Raila pia alikuwa anasimama na William Ruto alipita. Mkamdi mkasema kura zimeibiwa. Sasa nataka niwaambie William Ruto kwa sababu ameamua kutulipa na ubaya sisi watu wa Mlima Kenya, tutamuonyesha 2027 kupitia kwa debe. Mimi ambao mnajiita ni Wajaluo, mkisema ati ya kwamba tunaona wifu kwa sababu ya William Ruto kuenda tamu ya pili, nashangaa ni siasa ngapi mmepatiwa ama ni maendeleo magani huyo mmeletewa na William Samoei Ruto kama sile tu kubafu yenu. Na mkiendelea hivyo mnaendelea na kutaja Uhuru Kenyatta mtoto wetu vibaya na kumharibia jina yake bure. hizi nyumba mmekomboa hapa Nairobi za Wakikuyu, mtaanza kufukuzwa moja kwa moja. Kumbukeni vita ya 2007, Wakikuyu waliwafukuza kwa manyumba zao. Na kama hivyo ndivyo mnataka tufikishane hapo, mtaumia. Kwa sababu mtaanza kwenda kuishi Kibera kwenu ama Mathare. Mwende mkadiskuizi huko. Mkiendelea na kuharibia our former president Uhuru Kenyatta jina. Na ndio mjua mnaguaga watu wengine wa kubafu sana. Wakati unga inauzwa bei moja.
If you listen to this woman,
wakati kuku ile ambao ni salad tunanunua kwa lita 300.
If you look at the situation, we have just given you a couple of videos to express and explain the current state of Kenya. The video has ended with this lady. I believe she's from, just by listening at her accent, I can tell she's from the mountain. And in her mind, she's supporting the former president by calling a certain tribe Wajinga. A very tribal point of view that the Luos will go back to Kibera, as if Kibera is the only place Luos are found. It is such statements that bring a nation into turmoil. Now today, if a former president is from your tribe and he has done something wrong, we do not have the power to address him simply because he's from your tribe. So what about President Moi? What about the people if they support him because he's from their tribe? What about President Kibaki? They support him because he's from their tribe. What about President Ruto? If we are now dealing with support based on tribalism over work ethic, what kind of nation are we going to build? If Kikuyu stand up and say, don't touch His Excellency former President Uhuru, you ask why? Because he's Kikuyu. What does that have to do with a president? Who cares where you're coming from? And it is such words. Have you seen that nation? This is the nation we are building. This is very unfortunate that it's the nation we are building. The first video, the second video, you are talking about goons. Now there is a gentleman that I saw was killed by, I think, the one of the aides of the, is it the PS or someone working in the state? And you can imagine what he was going to ask for. Because at the same time, now it has become a business. Because young people have no jobs. And you politicians have made it that way so that you can keep us depending. And you know why? When a person is poor, in most cases, he will always depend. The poor will always depend on the rich, hence becoming a slave. Now that young man died simply because, I understand, either he was going to ask for what they had already agreed, which I think it was not given. Someone has lost his life just like that. You see the situation there. Goons entering into different places. The other day, I think it was yesterday, I was being shown a hotel. I don't know if you saw it. Goons entering into a hotel, stealing from the hotel. Kenya is not only becoming Haiti. Haiti is learning from Kenya. Because if that one person is successful in entering a place where people are eating and stealing with a gun and is able to shoot with that level of confidence, Bishop, stick to the gospel, preach the gospel. Pastor, you think you'll preach in which nation? Why do you think the ministry of Christ is a ministry of peace? It says, blessed are the peacemakers. The way we are going in this nation, and it is so unfortunate that our politicians, instead of seeing something called human resource, which means human capital, the power that you have when you have men in your nation. China understood it. And no wonder today China is producing unimaginable things. Why? Because every nation must understand the power of every government lies on the term. Let's now talk about our nation called Kenya. Even if you people in one term, you are there, which nation will you be leading? The way things are going, even if it's you people of two term, which nation will you be leading? Forget those things and put them on the side first. Kenya has a problem. And I want to repeat again to every single person that is listening, especially to the Church of Jesus, that always thinks the solution to everything is only to pray, that our job is only to pray. as if Esther only prayed, or rather she prayed and went to approach the king and went and dealt with the matter. After praying and fasting for 3 days, we have tried to teach these things, but because it has not yet affected your church, you think that you are safe. Kenya is slowly becoming a nation that is moralless. The other day we saw, I don't know if you have it, the other day we saw goons stopping people in Thika Road, a few meters to the DCI headquarters. And that's a coincidence? We are not running a nation. We are slowly becoming a people that will not be able to be governed. Kenya is not very far. And if we continue to go this way, even now if you look at the comment sections, maybe I can see there are other people that have come here, they are going live. You look at the comment section. Everyone is just abusing because now it's a tribal issue. How foolish are we? 60 plus years of independence. We can still not come out of tribalism. 60 years. Now we have goons operating like this, and the mosques thinks they are safe. Do you have the video where they entered the church? The mosques think they are safe. The churches think they are safe, and that this problem is only a political problem. Let me explain something to you, brothers and sisters. Politics will always shape the trajectory of the nation. Because you have refused to raise godly politicians, you tell believers that politics is a dirty game. Politics ni game ya watu wachafu. Don't worry. Soon, hiyo uchafu itakufikia kwa nyumba yako. It is such a shame the things that are happening in this nation. It is a shame if a politician pays young people to distract other people. If the president is going somewhere, he has all the right according to the constitution to address the people. Picketing is a right according to Article 37 of our Constitution. Peaceably and unarmed. Are they peaceable? Yes. It doesn't matter whether there are 1 million people or 100,000. Are they peaceable? Yes. Are they unarmed? Yes. Then they have the right to picket. It's a constitutional law in our system. If the opposition wants to go somewhere and do the same thing, provided they have followed the constitution peaceably and unarmed, they have a right to equally talk to the people. At the end of the day, Article 1 of the Constitution is very clear that all sovereign power belongs to the people, and they have the free will to exercise it in any way they see fit, provided it is within the measures of the Constitution. What Kenya is becoming, some of you are making Kenya like your village. Even in your own homes. Is that how you run your houses? Can you bring down a house that you need to live in the night, or do you protect your house? If you protect your own homes, you protect your own children, why can't you protect Kenyans? It is a shame. And right now, these people have entered into the churches. You saw the other day, they entered into a church. Do you have the video? They entered into the church. Look at this video. Church, look at this video. Politics is a dirty game. Politics is a dirty game. Look at this video.
Human rights groups and other stakeholders present have condemned the incident, describing it as an attack on civic space, public participation, and constitutional freedoms. And TV's Victor Ngaria has a story.
Tourism found its way into the church, the dramatic disruption of forced budget accountability forum at Nairobi's All Saints Cathedral, where the church itself, civil society organizations and members of the public had gathered to review the 2026-2027 budget statements presented by CS Mbadi in Parliament on Thursday to assess whether public views were reflected in the final spending plan. CCTV footage obtained by NTV captures the moments leading to the invasion. The footage shows groups of young men, many arriving on motorcycles, idling outside the cathedral compound before making their move. Earlier, some had entered the premises before leaving in the company of police officers. But at exactly 10 or 8 a.m., the footage shows dozens of youth, all men, returning and bypassing the main access points by ducking beneath the boom barrier, and overwhelming security personnel stationed at the entrance. Their movement appeared coordinated. Rather than dispersing within the compound, they headed directly towards the conference facility, where the budget discussions were underway. By 10:10 a.m., the group had reached the staircase leading to the meeting venue. Along the way, several people were attacked and robbed, with mobile phones among the items stolen. Moments later, police officers moved in to contain the situation. After attempts to push the group back failed, officers fired shots into the air, forcing the intruders to flee the church compound. One suspect was arrested, while no injuries were reported. Church leaders strongly condemned the incident, describing it as an attack on constitutional rights and the freedom of citizens to participate in discussions on issues that affect them, while also pointing an accusing finger at politicians.
We condemn this in the strongest terms possible. Once the investigators establish those links,
This is a church.
politicians will set the rule, making their names known very soon for the public.
Church. This is a church. Have you now seen the need to wake up, church? Is this not in your backyard? I applaud this church simply because they were following a constitutional right, giving an opportunity for people to give their views concerning this particular bill. This was before it was passed. What mistake did that church do? What guts do you have to enter into a church building? You goons, you young people, where did you get that power? God is no longer feared in this nation. You wake up and you enter into a cathedral that has been in existence for the longest. Some of us have been passing there when we were kids. You just enter there and you think, what have you become? Who sent those young people there? And when I tell the church to wake up, now church, has this matter not reached in your doorstep? This is just testing. 2027. This was being tested. Now, you can imagine that ministry, the size of that ministry, and they managed to enter. You can see the church has guards, it has a security structure. You, pastor, that is telling us to stop talking, you have no protocol. You only have 10 members. Imagine what they will do to your little ministry. And the reason I'm talking like that is because it is people that have done little that have the highest pride. You can imagine the size of that ministry. You can even see they have the gate pass. Yet those people manage to jump in. Do you even have any protocol? Do you have any guard at your gate? Imagine what these people will do. To the people in the mosques, have you not learned? Is this really the way for a nation to go, to choose anyone? Do we have to shed? Someone has to die in order for me to live? Is in the blood of Jesus enough? And then you are still playing political tribal cards here. Even if assuming you're in opposition or you're in government, isn't it enough that we are Kenyans? Now you can see the people that are doing that erroneous act. They all have a new piece of wood. It's all new. You can see Nirungu. It's new. That means someone gave them those things. Why would Linda Mwananchi go somewhere and you disrupt their meeting? If you don't want to hear them, why? They are doing their constitutional right. Let them come and sell their agenda. If they sell their agenda, you feel or you hear, you are like, it doesn't fit you, you have an opportunity in the ballot. If the government comes and sells, it's the same thing, allow them to be heard. If you don't agree with their point of view, you have an opportunity at the ballot. But you cannot take a nation hostage. And then you leaders don't talk. You know why? Because you're the people that send them. What a shame to you people. Leaders full of nonsense in this nation. Bishop, stick to the church. Okay, now the church has been reached. This is a prototype. Pastor, I hope you're listening. You that has 50 members, 100 members, you don't have budget for security. This church has a budget for security. It's in the CBD. And if they can enter there, you imagine what they have seen. You have already shown it's a possibility. How dare you do that? And to you, the young people, as much as you are blaming the leaders, don't you have brains for yourself? Why would you be given 200 shillings to beat someone? Okay, fine, you threw stones. And by the way, these videos have the pictures of these people. There was even a lady, women you could see. Women. When did you become this heartless? Women. It's even easier to deal with a man because strength is to men. Women. Are you not the ones that should be fighting for better family structures, better nation, better policies? Women. Now, these videos have the goons' faces. DCI, the same way you run to people, please run here. Let these people tell us who sent them. Stop playing political games now. In case I'm talking and you feel I'm not making sense, pass to the next program. I'm not your type. Go to the next platform. We never invited you to listen to us. You found your way here. The same way you clicked in, click out. This is not a game anymore. The point of the church is like the last hope of where people can run to. I think you can remember the other time there was a policeman that ran into the church. I don't know if you remember. Was it the election time? There was a policeman, a video of a policeman running. I don't know if they can. A policeman running into the church. And that's why he found his security. 2024, if I'm not wrong. Now you have seen that you can even enter into the church. What a shame. Now, government, do you see what human lack of empowerment does? Giving people 50 bob, 50 bob, 50 bob. There's a video.